going to start today with one of my favorite, a movement from one of my favorite pieces, which is the Handel Suite in D minor. Every 6 or 7 years, I pull it out and perform it on a recital again because I just love it so much. It's a really wild piece. It's got this crazy, crazy prelude. And a really, really, really screwed up fugue, which is impossible to memorize. I have to review it every time I play it. But it has a little air and a series of variations that are just, I think, just absolutely brilliant. There's this little aria. The tune is. And Handel he can't leave it plain, so he does this huge amount of decoration and ornamentation on this tune. And then he follows with a series of 5 variations. First, he puts the tune in the right hand. Then he puts it in the left hand. Then he puts it in the middle so that you have this on the outside, and you have and then he just kind of fools around and ends with a big flourish. I think it's a fabulous theme and set of variations, so I am playing it today. It's from the Handel Suite number 3. Yeah, number 3 in D minor. And next is one of my favorite Chopin nocturnes, G major. It's sort of like a little study in thirds and sixths. When you have notes that are with one note in between, that's called a third. It's almost like a little exercise or something, but it's very, very beautiful. Unfortunately, you can't do it with two hands. You have to do it with one hand. And that alternates with this really sort of kind of boat songy kind of middle section. And of course, Chopin being Chopin, every time the little slightly different. Anyway, it's one of my favorite Chopin nocturnes. Number 12, Opus 37, number 2. And I haven't played a rag in a long time. So I'm going to play Tom Turpin's Harlem Rag. Tom Turpin was a Black American composer. Didn't live very long, 1871 to 1922. So just made it over 50. Um, um, and he was one of the founders of the ragtime movement. Lived all his life in New York, was a lifetime New Yorker, Upper West Side, my old neighborhood. Um, and he pretty much is the very first of the ragtime composers. Um, this is called the Harlem Rag, a two-step, 1897, which means that it beats all of Joplin's rags by a couple of years. Now, if I arrange my pages just the right way, I should be okay. So two goes with three, and four goes with five. Okay. It's a very sort of compared to Joplin, it's a very sort of almost jazzy kind of rag. It's a very Joplin would never write quite such a angular, I think, jaunty type of subject. Middle section sounds a little bit more like a typical rag. Okay, so this is the Harlem Rag, a two-step. one more. Going to play an excerpt from, I'm going to play the whole thing next week, but I feel like playing, if I can find it in my pile of mess that I call my practice pile. No, it's over here. Can't be that far away because I was practicing it today. There it is. I have no idea who this man was. His name is Sidney Smith, but for ages and ages and ages and ages, these operatic transcriptions were unbelievably popular for the piano because even Edison cylinders were still hard to get at the time. And if you liked an opera, the only way to really hear it was to play and sing yourself. And this is an arrangement of Verdi's La Traviata. I was practicing, it made me think of my father and my uncle. When I was a kid, folks, I thought everybody in the world did this, which was on Friday night and Saturday morning, you went to the synagogue, then you came home and you studied your Hebrew and your Aramaic and you did all of that. And then, even though it wasn't quite legit, at 2 o'clock, everything stopped and you listened to the Metropolitan Opera. And I thought everybody in the world did this. But this was not the case, as I found out in kindergarten when I asked Paulie Martin what he had thought of Madame Butterfly on Saturday, and he beat me up. Anyway, I'm just going to play an excerpt of the famous baritone aria from Traviata di Provenza. You might know the tune. Sidney Smith did this wonderful piano arrangement. And, playing these piano arrangements makes one realize how much Chopin owed to Italian opera. I mean, this is Smith's arrangement. Sounds like a Chopin Nocturne. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of tunes in here that if you're an opera fan, you will know, but I'm only going to do this one today. Made me think of my father. I was thinking about him and my uncle, so I'm going to play it.